Hello everyone, welcome back to the Football Forecast, and in today's video I'm going to be going through my Premier League predictions for Game Week 27. And I'm going to start off with Chelsea at home to Leeds United. A bit of a rivalry between these two sides, and Chelsea in the league so far have started pretty well under Liam Rosenior. They've definitely had favourable fixtures, but once again you'd say this is a pretty favourable game. It'll be interesting to see how much Rosenior looks to rotate in this game, because when he looked to rotate against West Ham, it nearly resulted in his side losing this game, because I just don't think Chelsea's depth is good enough. For Leeds United, they're coming off a really good win against Nottingham Forest, winning 3-1, but I think this may be a step too far. I definitely think they'll cause Leeds some problems in this game. I really like watching Leeds as a side. They can see goals, but they also score goals in games. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for Chelsea in this game. I do expect both sides to score in this game. Then we're on to the next game between Everton and Bournemouth. Two sides in good form right now, both unbeaten in their last 5 games. Everton have struggled recently in first halves of games, but that hasn't really stopped them, and they've still managed to come back and at least get a point from this game. This happened against Leeds United, this happened against Brighton, and this happened against Fulham. Looking at Bournemouth have been good recently as well. As I was saying, they're unbeaten in their last 5. And once again, what we see with Bournemouth is they go through spells when they're a really good side, and they go through spells where they're a not so good side. They're a very inconsistent side. Bournemouth, I think this is a 1-1 draw written all over it. I think Bournemouth score early in this game, and then Everton will equalise, but they won't be able to go on and win the game. So then we've got Spurs at home to Newcastle United. Two sides who are completely out of form right now, and both sides are absolutely desperate for a win. Spurs will be without Christian Romero for this game, who is suspended after getting a straight red card. Looking at Newcastle, Gordon is out for this game. Joe Linton is out. Miley's potentially out. They've also got some problems. Livramento is also out for this game for Newcastle United. And these are two sides that are really out of form right now. For Newcastle, they haven't picked up a win in their last 5 games. And for Spurs, it's even worse. Haven't picked up a win in their last 7 games. So I could definitely see a draw in this game. That's what I'm going to be saying. In terms of the scoreline, I'm really not sure. I just don't know what to expect from both of these sides. Newcastle are conceding a lot of goals right now. Spurs are also conceding a lot of goals in the league. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. Once again, a repeat of the first game. A repeat of the reverse fixture between these two sides. So then we've got the next game between West Ham United and Manchester United, and this game has been made a big deal of because United may potentially win 5 games in a row, which means that guy gets his haircut. I personally couldn't care less about that. I think United just need to be happy with how they're playing right now, and even if they were to drop points in this game, it's still a very positive run that they are currently on. And West Ham haven't been bad recently. They picked up 3 wins out of their last 4 games. United are 4 from 4 going into this game. And I expect Nuno to make this difficult for Manchester United. I expect him to sit in, give United the ball, and force United to break down West Ham. I think that's where United will struggle more than allowing United to have space in the counter-attack. It also suits West Ham to make a side break them down. So that's what I expect from this game. The question is, will United be able to find that goal? I think they will be able to find this goal, and then they'll be able to find the second goal later in the game. And so I'm going to go with another 2-0 win for Manchester United. So then we've got Aston Villa at home to Brighton. Two sides I think they need a win in the league. Villa haven't won their last 2, and they need to start picking up wins once again to get into Champions League football. I think any chances of the title race has probably disappeared for Aston Villa. In terms of Brighton haven't won their last 5, and they've just lost to Crystal Palace. In the M23 derby, Brighton are conceding goals right now. They haven't kept a clean sheet in the last 6. They're also not very efficient in front of goal right now, and they're struggling to put the ball into the back of the net. And I think Villa will win this game at home. I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Aston Villa over Brighton. So then we've got Crystal Palace at home to Burnley, and Crystal Palace will be looking to build on after that win in the M23 derby over Brighton, because up to that point they hadn't won a game since early December. and they should be able to pick up a good result in this game. I look at this Burnley side and I just don't think they have enough quality to compete, and they're conceding way too many goals, and they're not good enough at the other end, putting the ball into the back of the net. So I expect a simple win for Palace in this game, and I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Crystal Palace over Burnley. So then we've got the next game, which is between Manchester City and Fulham. And City just picked up a great win away at Anfield against Liverpool, and they need to build on that win, and they need to pick up a win in this game if they want to have any chance of winning the title, because right now it does look like Arsenal are running away with the league. Looking at Fulham, they were on a really good run, but they've now lost 2 games in a row to Manchester United and to Everton. And look, I think they'll definitely cause City some problems in this game, but I think City will probably have too much quality for this Fulham side. I also think that they're going to take a massive boost from that win away at Liverpool, and this will result in City winning this game. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for City over Fulham. So then we've got the next game, which is between Forest and Wolves, and this is an absolute must-win for Nottingham Forest. It is that simple. They are currently 3 points clear of West Ham in the Premier League, and you look at this Wolves side and you say, we have to be picking up 3 points in this game. Wolves are only on 8 points. As well as this, it's also a home game for Forest, but I expect Wolves to cause some problems in this game. They've actually got a bit of quality in that side. They've got the 2 Gomez's in midfield. They've got Mane, who I like. They've got Arokadare, who's had a couple of good games for Wolves recently. So I don't think they're as bad as a side as people are making out. But at the end of the day, Wolves are in 20th place in the Premier League, and there's a reason why Wolves are in 20th place. And I do expect Forest to win this game. I also think if Forest start with Luca in this game, he'll cause a threat to this Wolves backline. He looks really good when he came on in that game against Leeds and offered something that Forest haven't had so far this season without Chris Woods. And for that reason, I think I'm going to go with the Forest win over Wolves. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Forest over Wolves. So then we've got the next game, and this is a very difficult game to call, between Sunderland and Liverpool. And what will make this game easier to call is Dominic Szoboszlai has been suspended for this game after getting a straight red card at the end of the game. For Sunderland, they've got a massive player out, and that is Granit Xhaka, and that has been affecting Sunderland recently. I think Sunderland are good enough to get a result in this game at home to Liverpool. We've seen so far this season, Sunderland are a very difficult side to beat away from home, and no side has managed to pick up a win so far away at the Stadium of Light. So it's going to be a massive challenge for Liverpool, especially without Dominic Szoboszlai. And it'll be interesting to see who Liverpool do play at right back for this game. I do still think, though, Liverpool may be good enough to get a point in this game away at Sunderland, but it's definitely going to be a massive test. So I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw between these two sides. I think Sunderland would be slightly disappointed with that, which is amazing to say for them, because I think they may look at this game and say, if we can win this game, then we could actually put ourselves right in contention for European football. In fact, they would actually go level on points with Liverpool in this game. And they'll look at this as a massive opportunity for Liverpool. Liverpool need to simply start picking up wins in these sorts of games to get into the Champions League. If Chelsea and Man United win as are predicted, then Liverpool will fall even further away from getting into the Champions League next season. So I don't think either side would be particularly happy with that result. So then we've got Brentford at home to Arsenal, and I look at this game and say, could Brentford potentially win this game over Arsenal? Because Brentford have caused a lot of problems for sides so far this season at home and actually away recently. And they're a very difficult side to beat. And I don't think this is going to be easy for Arsenal. I feel like this is going to be a game where if they were to win it, it would be a very tight sort of 1-0, sort of 2-0 win, what we've seen from Arsenal so far this season. But I don't actually think Arsenal are going to win this game. I think this could be where Arsenal slip up. And if Arsenal don't slip up here, I can't really see them slipping up at many other places throughout this season. This is the sort of game where I look at it and I say, if Arsenal can win this game, then that's another massive step towards winning that Premier League title, because going away to Brentford isn't easy. and it's definitely possible for Arsenal to win this game. If you look at the current form, they've won their last 4 games in all competitions, but Brentford have also just got 2 amazing wins away at Newcastle and Villa, and they've been giant killers so far this season, and I think they're going to take another one in this game. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Brentford, and I hope this does actually happen to keep the title race somewhat alive. But I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal won this game, and it's a little bit actually out of hope in terms of trying to keep the title race alive. Let me know your thoughts on these Premier League predictions for Game Week 26, and if you enjoy this video, go subscribe to the channel as well as liking the video.